Mm-hmm.
This Kuigurluq, you guys probably seen it flying up. It's a big village. My father's name is Harry Jackson. My mother, Martha. She was Martha Andrew from when she was here and got married to my father. My mother is originally from here. My father is originally from Akiak. I don't know how they end up in Kuigurluq. I don't know. I never bothered to ask. Well, I grew up in Kuigurluq, went to elementary school, and then 58 waited for Mount Edgecombe boarding school. When we used to go boarding schools, I went to Mount Edgecombe Heights, graduated 62, and worked. I love to work with elders. Way back, I learned a lot of things from them. That's why I used to ask a lot of questions. They used to ask, tell me. Anyway, 64, 65, I forgot which one, moved here, got married to John, and lived here since. Only time I went back was to Kuigurluq when my mom had a heart attack, and not heart attack, stroke. And then we were with her for 5 years. Anyway, we came back again when John's father was sick in his deathbed. So we stayed here never moved back again. We stayed here. I love this. I'm used to Tuluksak. I don't like Kuigurluq. Seem like it's a different world there.
You said that you like to work with the elders?
Yes, I work with elders since those days after graduation from Mount Edgecombe. It's because I went to Fairbanks for summer school, learning Yupik, reading and writing, Yupik. I like it so much. I learned from it, and from interviewing elders, I learned a lot of things, a lot of stories in our area and then here in this area.
So the other day we were talking about this old site of the river and how people had come dispersed down, but you told us an old story about that.
Oh wow. That's one of the stories I learned from asking elders a lot of questions. This elder, my husband said there's a lot of different stories similar to this one. Same one, but people tell it a different way. But what I learned, it was in those days there were warriors. Everybody was warrior men, and there was no white men, nothing before they ever It must have been early 1600 in those. And when I don't know how that lady had ended up in Uuravik. I guess one of the Nukaspak, yeah, had went toward Yukon and had found this lady, but she was married to another man there, and he brought her to Statscewich River, and he was from Uuravik and brought her there. And when this woman's husband from Yukon, he find out his wife had been stolen. That husband's father was a shaman, and this Nukaspak great hunter didn't know lady's husband was a shaman too. Anyway, during that season, or I think it was winter, maybe frozen. Anyway, this one day this great big goose came from Yukon way side, and it was circling that village Uuravik. It was making a lot of crackling sound. It was a huge, humongous bird. And then when it above the village, it opens its whole belly and pour out blood all over. People were scared. They run. Something happened to the ground, I guess. It caves in, I guess, up the blood that coming from force, a lot of things come down hard and make the ground cave in. Maybe, make a lot of ditches. And this storyteller was saying the people ran here and there because every time the blood spills land, the ground caves in. And that humongous bird is probably made by a shaman to fight for his son, because the son, that other hunter, Statscewich, mighty hunter, took his wife. That's what I heard, and then people scattered here and there. And that's how Kuigurluq, in Bogus River, the village of Kuigurluq formed. Some go east, probably Tuluksak, and some go downriver, some go across. They abandoned that village. That's all I know.
Do you know what happened to that Angalkuk's wife?
He's not Angalkuk. His
Then.
father was Angalkuk. He find out.
Did he get her back or?
I never know. I didn't find out. But because that storyteller had stopped right there. And he said the people, all those people that went here and there are all originally from Uuravik. And Uuravik was probably the bigger village than the rest of along the Kuigurluq in that time.
I wondered, we saw from some of the past collection of asking people, there's a site that looks like the people of Uuravik. There's a place on the map, Uuravik, that's down around the bend, and I don't know if that was correct or if that's later, if people moved down here. Do you have any thoughts on that site, if that's a right name or?
That's a right place. What those?
It's right by Florida.
No. Uuravik is way up there.
Yeah, well, this site right down here, Uuravik, is just across from where you were telling us.
No, this is the story being
Here.
told.
So
You
here's-
know, across from the bluffs.
So here's Uuravik.
Yeah, that one.
What does this one mean then? Who are those people?
Is that was probably some of the hunting places. People probably
Across those
camp.
other lower
Yeah.
bluffs.
No, it's below those small bluffs, you know. Tuluksak fish camp now, it's above it. And you know that place where they called the place that I named because of my grandson, Florida. One day he wanted us to follow us. He kept watching us. We might go Florida again, so we got ready and get our food ready and tent, stove, and everything. Then we went for set net, whitefish and pike. And we told him we're going to Florida and he wanted to follow. So we named it Florida.
I think Bill hasn't heard that story of where that is. This was Marie told us this name the other day for the island, and then Florida's right there. Little.
So there's a story for this island?
There's a story everywhere. Stories I've heard. And that across from here there's a creek that goes This looks white, but it wasn't white, this part. Is it the right one?
Could change since this map.
Or maybe.
This was 1954, this map. So
Could you tell us the story of the island?
Not the island, but that back river, that not shortcut, the, what do you call those, Dunnuerdet. There's another way of reaching that other part, you know, but it's a long way.
going behind.
Yeah.
So this is kind of going behind.
And that I heard from also stories from men that passed away. It's in those days there were there's always fighting. I mean, a thing that goes on from that region to this region, warriors. They all have warriors.
From Yukon to here?
Even Yukon here, upriver, downriver, coastal, everywhere. Anyway, when there was a story of Apanuugpak, the biggest man, and he was one of the warriors that are around this area, around here, Akiak, Kuigurluq, Akachak, Bethel, maybe that area. And he always helped the people because because they are his neighbors, you know what I meant. Anyway, there's always a lookout person. What do you call those kind?
Watchers. Guards.
Guards. Some guards for everything. Every pen probably have a guard, because they're always, in those days, they're always killing each other, bows and arrows. Anyway, they had, the guard came and told those warriors there that there were lots of men coming from Yukon way to attack downriver, I guess, and they gather. I don't know how long it takes them to get to those places by canoes. Probably a long time, many hours. Anyway, that they had tell each other they were alongside of that river, lined up far, way far. I mean, well, I don't know exactly how far and how many men were lined up across from each other. And when that, they tell each other, do not kill until they're all inside their area where they could get each one of them. Let them pass, keep passing, maybe up to the mouth, maybe. And they kept coming quiet. He was telling. And then they signal when the last canoe pass. They signal probably some kind of bird call or something. And then they keep signaling, then they start killing them. They said that river was just filled with blood, all red. And that guy said that river is full of human bones. But they always leave one alive, so for him to go warn their relatives. That's bad, you know.
So he went back.
Mm-hmm.
And did anything happen then?
I never find out those things.
Well, there is a Dinuanum marked on the map. I don't know if that's what you were looking for. This right here. Somebody gave this name. Is that?
Dunueron. Yeah, those are that creek that's going. The ones that are like this, everything are Dunueron.
So
The names are. You take a long cut, not the shortcut.
are they old bends in the river, the way the river used to be there?
Yeah, I guess so.
So each one of these might be a Dinuan.
Every place have Dunueron, like across from here. That stream that there were in the earlier, everything was before sandbars formed. There was this river, and then sandbars form, and back of it is water passage, and trees grow, they become islands. It's like that.
And that passage is the Dinuan.
Dunueron, yeah.
Well, another question might be, when the people came from Uuravik down to Kuigurluq, we were hearing in the last couple of days from Joe and John, there were two places that people put of an old site and a newer, which talks, it has Kuigurluq mute people again. Do you have any story about the old site and the new site? One was a fall camp, something we were told.
That by the hill, I guess it was also a big village. The ones that were scattered from Uuravik, they make settlement there.
And so they came to the old site first.
The old site, yeah. Okay. And they probably lived there long because I have seen the grave site. It is, what I heard is it's always hidden. If you really care to and have it in your mind wanting to see it, it's not there. You wouldn't see it. But we ran into it without, I was thinking of picking berries that time, fall time. That's when we saw all those graves. Each grave have
Russian Orthodox?
No. Alder tree. Not alder, birch tree growing by the coffin.
So this was up on a hill, the old site. Up on a bluff.
The bluff is kind of And on the where it's kind of straight, there's a lot of where Kazakhs were. They tell me the bigger one had, I could see some of the beams, old beams, wood, tree, some part.
And how did you know it was the Kazakh?
My husband said the bigger one is the Kazakh.
Because people used to live there.
But then there's a second place further down Bogus Creek or Kuigurluq. Did people start to move to a new?
No. What I know is people from this village have a camp there. But they used to, these couples, lot, and family or relatives had lived there. They even have a church, but that's a recent settlement there.
The Lot family.
And John Peter, or maybe John Peter's family was on that old site.
Maybe the old site.
Maybe.
Maybe John Peter was. Elizabeth mentioned yesterday about the old grave sites. She said if we plan to go there to check the sites, not to think about we're going to go see the sites, just pick a day, bring something, maybe food or something with us when we go there to offer.
Like this kind of cup, you could have a little piece of this, that, a little piece of cookie or a little piece of coffee, sugar, everything little piece. And then when you get to that place, buried under. And you might be lucky.
Bury it anywhere?
Yeah, just when you get to the ground. And I have seen small little graves wrapped in birch bark. We could see the birch bark, but there was moss growing in the tree. Maybe because of the birch bark, there's always a tree there. There were a lot of different sizes, small, medium, babies, huge ones, and some in sitting position. They were formed like that. And in that area, we have been told a shaman's grave is there, and the tree is twisted, growing, twisted. I tried to look around, but I didn't go, and I was scared. I didn't see it.
Was there a certain time that people started being buried not sitting up?
You know, in those days they didn't have tools to dig in. And I don't know. I'm not that old, but I'm old. But a lot of stories I heard, they say every bend has a story in it. Every river bend. It is true even up this Tuluksak River.
Are there other stories about this site?
Oh, well, yeah, some have different. Some people have stories